Hello, 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 and welcome to the Good Vibes Lifestyle. Now, today is a special edition because it is Thanksgiving. Yay! So, even though it's Thanksgiving today, I'm using the magic of television and video to, to be here live with you, even though I recorded it a little earlier while the turkey's in the oven. And yes, I am eating turkey today, even though I've kind of sworn off meat, but it is what it is. So happy Thanksgiving. I hope you're enjoying your family, you're enjoying your food, you're enjoying your blessings because I know I am. And, today is a special day because it is Thanksgiving. It's really, gratitude is one of the highest vibrations that we can feel, that we can vibe at. And so it's just beautiful how there's a whole day and kind of almost a whole month that's dedicated to giving thanks, to gratitude. So I just want to wish you happy Thanksgiving. And, it's so important to celebrate these things because, it's part of the good vibes lifestyle. And, I'm all about creating a movement. Um, Called the Good Vibes Lifestyle, where you learn and pay attention to where you're vibing at. Are you in the feeling bad zone or in the feeling good zone? So you want to be in the higher vibrations. And I don't know how you can be in the lower vibrations. Well, I guess it kind of depends on the people you're hanging out with and that. But the vibe right now, at least in the United States, should be pretty thankful, should be pretty upbeat. I've watched my tradition is watching the Macy's Day's Parade while I'm getting the turkey ready and putting it in the oven and doing all that stuff. So I was hoping I'd had some time while this was happening to get this recorded so you could watch it live at 3 o'clock today. So yay. Um, all right. Well, and this will be kind of brief because I do have customers. I have guests actually for Thanksgiving, and it's been crazy this year because we have so many guests and people coming, and I don't know, it's different, but I'm very thankful for all the love that I feel, from all the friends and family that I have around me, and I'm very grateful, that they're here and, just getting to spend that quality time because, what's life about except for relationships? It's just so important to be aware of that. So happy Thanksgiving, everyone, and have a beautiful, beautiful day. So let's get on with the show. All right, we're going to talk about some astrological news really quickly. We are in the waxing phase of the moon, which means the moon is growing bigger and bigger. If you looked outside and see the beautiful moon getting bigger and bigger, and in just a couple of days, on November 27th, which is Monday, we have a full moon in the sign of Gemini. Now, Gemini rules communications, and Mercury is the planet that rules Gemini. So it's all about communications. It happens at 4:16 in the morning Eastern time on the 27th. So be aware, things are building up. You feel the full moon 2 days before, 2 days after, and then you have the full moon. So you have the whole period of time to work with that energy. And, the full moon just kind of expands and amplifies everything. It shines the light on things. Things come to a fruition during the full moon. So, it also affects our emotions because the moon rules our emotions. What's great is if you have good emotions and you're experiencing and feeling and deciding to feel, choosing to feel good emotions, happier, higher vibing emotions, then it amplifies. But if you are in the feeling bad zone, if you're in, feeling lower vibes, if you're, in depression or suffering or any kind of the lower vibes, that will be amplified too. So it's really important to be aware of where your energy is, which you can tell by your emotions, which is energy emotion. And also then choose if you are not, vibing higher, to vibe higher. Find out what that next, emotion is and feel it. And, today being Thanksgiving, gratitude, feel gratitude. So that's all I got for you for as far as the astrological news. So let's get into the oracle of the month, which is this Moonology message oracle by Yasmin Bolin. So let's ask And I am going to try to be a little quick today because turkey's going to be ready in about 20 minutes. And thankfully, I have friends to help with that. Make sure the turkey doesn't burn up while I'm recording this. But so let's ask Spirit for a message from Spirit. Let's find out from Spirit, what do we need to know, or what's the message? Whoops, what's the message today? Drop the cards everywhere. What's a message from Spirit today for all of us on this beautiful Thanksgiving Day? All right. All right, and the card is interesting. And I don't remember if we got this before. I think we did. It's the void moon, which says do nothing. So let's see what that means. And I think we did pick this card before, or at least I know I've read it for myself. 116. So do nothing. As a very powerful being, you know that you're creating your reality with your thoughts and actions every day. Even so, drawing this card suggests that you need to do nothing for now. This is a time to tread water, so to speak. Allow at least 24 hours to pass before you take any further action. This isn't a time to set intentions, make wishes, or try to influence anyone. Now is the time to just be. Meditate, do yoga, take a walk in nature. There's a good chance that whatever you're worried about isn't going to manifest. It is said that whatever begins under the void of course moon bears no fruit. So, drawing this card suggests any anxiety that you have is unwarranted and will only cause you more issues. However, if you're really hoping for something to happen, there's also a good chance it's not going to, at least not yet. You need to be patient. This isn't a negative card per se, but it's does suggest no change is coming as of yet. So additional meanings for this card is worrying achieves nothing. There's nothing to worry about. The time for action has passed. Allow events to unfold in their own time. Nothing will come of the situation. Let's see, and also about the symbol, depending on whether you use the traditional or modern version of the void of course moon, it takes place every couple of years or just a couple of times a year. Either way, it's not a time to do nothing as much as you possibly can. So I think we got this. I don't remember. I think we might have gotten it last week or the week before. And the way I would read this, considering it's Thanksgiving, yes, you gotta maybe cook the dinner, but it's taking that time out to just really be and enjoy your family. And I like the little message there about taking a walk in nature after your Thanksgiving meal, which hopefully you're having one if you want to. Spend time with your family and take that walk, take that hike in nature. Digest your food that way. Enjoy the people you're with and just be. We're human beings, not human doings. And what's great about holidays is it gives us that downtime to just like stop when everything shuts down. The stores are closed and everything else, even though they're trying to get you on the Black Friday deals and all that stuff. Just be today. So that's the message from Spirit as far as this oracle is concerned. All right, so let's switch gears here. And let me also let you know that if you like this oracle deck, you can shop my Amazon store to get it. And the way to get to it is just good-vibes.tv. You'll see shop at my Amazon store, the button there, and you can purchase this deck if you like it. Every month we'll be picking I'll be using a different deck. So you get to check out new decks as they come out. All right. So last week we talked about this book that just came out by Jim Quick, which is the Limitless Expanded Edition. He wrote this book back in 2020, but he's updated it. And I never got the first book, but it, I did get it last week, and I started reading it. So I thought it would be good to kind of give you some notes, some things that uh, stood out to me. Um, you know, One thing that there's several points that and I'm not like a super fast reader, but Jim Quick is all about learning how to learn. He is known as the boy with the broken brain. So he fell as a child, maybe at 5 years old, hit his head on a radiator at school, and it messed up his brain. He had a hemorrhaging and stuff. So it was very difficult for him to learn. So it became his passion to learn how to learn and to learn better. And he's found out that there's not a whole lot of people, they don't teach you in school how to learn. You learn about math, you learn about reading, you learn about these different things, but you don't learn how to learn and how the brain works. And with people like Joe Dispenza and uh, Bruce Lipton, the thoughts, and Jim Quick, he's been doing this work for 30 years. Um, we're learning about the brain more and more, and so this book is really excellent reference, and he has all kinds of tips on things you can do to train your brain, to improve your brain. So here, let me share some ideas or things that stood out to me. So number one, we have about 70,000 thoughts a day. Our brain is busy. We are 70, can you imagine 70,000 thoughts a day? Our brain is amazing. And, there's this thing called neuroplasticity, also known as brain plasticity. And basically what it says is that our brain is malleable. It's changed. They used to say that, oh, you only use 10% of your brain, and that alcohol kills your brain cells and all this other kind of stuff. Well, they're finding out that this is not true. That our brain is actually malleable, meaning it changes, that we form new neural pathways when we learn and when we adapt, and that the neurons actually can be rewired to form new connections. So old dogs can learn new tricks if they want to. You gotta want it, right? So here's a quote that I like that he said. He says, "You can be, do, have, and share anything when you optimize and rewire your brain. There are no limitations when you align and apply the right mindset, motivation, and methods." This is a direct quote from Jim Quick. Um, he also says that your ability to think, solve problems, make the right decision, create, innovate, and imagine is how we add value. So the faster you can learn, the faster you can earn. Um, and he, in the book, throughout the book, especially the beginning chapter, talks about questions, how questions direct your focus, that the question is really the answer. So asking the right question is what helps you learn, which what gets you the answer. It's asking the right question. And he talks about how there are three dominant questions that can turn your knowledge into power. And we have to remember, Tony Robbins talks about this a lot, that the application of knowledge is power, not just knowledge. A lot of times you heard that knowledge is power, but it's not really that, because you can know something, but if you don't do anything about it, if you don't apply it, it's useless. So it's the application of knowledge is power. And three questions that he has specifically as we're reading the book is number one, how can I use this? How can I use this information? His second question to kind of keep in mind is, why must I use this? Why must I use this? And the third question is, when will I use this? So these are questions to prompt us to, as we're learning new information, how can I use this information? Why must I use this? And when will I use this? And this helps us to apply knowledge. So it's all about the power of new neuroplasticity, and realizing that we really can grow and rewire our brain. And, every time that you answer a question and do a new activity, you're rewiring your brain. So it's important to be aware of that. And you do, empower yourself with that knowledge and learn new things, do new activities. Don't get set in the old patterns. Those patterns, an old dog can learn new tricks. So that's the message that I'm getting so far from this book. And I hope, I hope you buy this book. And again, shop my Amazon store. I do have it on there. It's available on Kindle. It's available as a hardcover, but it's a book that I think it has the latest information about the brain. It has information about dealing with AI. about the new work environment that we're in, the hybrid type environment that we're in. So it's really a good book and worth, reading and getting into. All right, so Limitless Expanded Edition, Jim Quick. Now I want to share, like I did last week, that I was on a podcast called Shining Brightly that Howard Brown uh, uh, does, and I want to show you the uh, website to go to. So if you go to www.shining-brightly.captivate.fm, you will be able to get to the podcast. So you can actually listen to the interview that he did with me. And we had a lot of fun. It was very good. And so here's Howard. He's a two-time cancer survivor, and his book is called Shining Brightly. Again, you can go to my Amazon store to get that book. And we kind of swapped interviews. So I actually interviewed him for Good Vibes TV, and that episode will air this Sunday at noon. So check out our YouTube channel at Raise Your Vibe and Thrive, and you'll be able to watch it starting noon. So please do. Howard is a great guy. He has, he survived cancer twice, and he's a survivorship coach. So he helps other people who, at any stage of the game of cancer to help them, to coach them, because he's been through it twice. And his book is all about that. And he's what a really wonderful person. So you'll really enjoy the episode coming up this weekend. And I actually have a clip, which I'm going to share right now. Did you get through all of that? What were you thinking? Was it your faith? What was it, your mindset? Was it all of it?
I would say faith, yes. As I said, I took in from thousands and thousands of people praying and cheering me on. Also, that I had been through cancer before. So I had the mental toughness. Now, I had some dark days. I didn't have easy days all the time, but I didn't allow myself to stay there in that darkness. I knew I had one goal. My goal was to see my daughter graduate. I wanted to see her graduate. I had that goal, and that's what that goal every day was. Am I getting closer to seeing her graduate? I wanted to be there for her graduation. You have to put that goal in front of you and go chase that goal, and that's what it is. Now, I live in the stage 4 cancer world. We lose people all the time. God calls them heaven. Their cancer burden became too great. So I actually take great effort to honor those that are going through treatment, those that have been through treatment, and those who lost to treatment every single day. I try to honor those. And typically I wear a piece, something that's blue, or I say a prayer for those that are still doing it. It's a tough road. I don't wish it on anybody. It's really, really hard when you are told you have cancer, or as my friend Lee Silverstein says, we have cancer. That's what you have to do. So getting through it is a daily struggle. Some days it was tough to get out of the bed. Other days, I had my friends coming and picking me up and taking me on a hike, taking me to the basketball court to be with the homeboys, and all of it matters. All of it matters.
So that was Howard Brown, and check out the episode that will air this Saturday. All right, now switching to gratitude. So I've talked about this gratitude journal that I love, and every week I do a tip on how to raise your vibration. And this month it's all about gratitude, all different ways to practice gratitude. So last week's tip was using a gratitude rock. Any kind of rock will do. Yeah, put it in your pocket, and every time you touch it, put your hands in your mind, you touch it, it is a reminder to think of what you're grateful for, to actually state it and say, what am I grateful for? I'm grateful for whatever it is. So that was last week's tip. Did you practice it? If you did, go ahead and put it in the comments and let me know if any of these tips that you've been practicing, what kind of results have you gotten? I would love to know. Now, this week's tip is to write a list of the people that you are grateful for. Now, this is a two-parter, but we'll talk about part 2 next week. So first, what you want to do is just write a list of all the people throughout your whole life that you are grateful for, whether they're dead or alive, it doesn't matter. Just write that down, make that list, and make some notes about what it is about them that you're grateful for. Whether a mentor that they that helped you get through a tough time in life. So it's another technique. And so next week I'll talk about part two, what to do with it. And I'll give you a little hint. Once you make this list and come up with why you're thankful for, and grateful for those people, the next step is to actually write them a letter expressing that. So that is the tip for the week. So if you received any benefit value from this show, which I hope you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And, if you can actually go to good-vibes.tv and get my 11 Ways to Raise Your Vibe PDF that's available. And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving. I know the turkey is getting ready to be put out of the oven. I hope I didn't overcook it. It happens. But anyway, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and just be blessed. So happy Thanksgiving, and I will see you next week. Have a beautiful, beautiful day, beautiful week. Take care.